And with that out of the way, we can go right ahead and talk about this little ownership dispute that's been going on for quite a while. So this is a dispute that's been going on since May, with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So according to this article that I'm looking at right here, Mark Lore and Alex Rodriguez were both arguing between who should have ownership between or of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the person spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity on Tuesday because the details were not being publicized. ESPN first reported the news, and the 82-year-old Taylor announced March 28th that he was exercising his right to pull out of the last part of the unusually structured deal because Lore and Rodriguez did not meet the deadline for the final payment, about $600 million that was to transfer an additional 40% stake of the club. Excuse me. So Lore and Rodriguez disagreed. The pair said they were waiting on NBA approval for the paperwork they'd submitted by the March 27th deadline that entitled them per contract to a 90-day extension. They accused Taylor of simply having seller's remorse because the value of the Timberwolves has increased since the agreement, mirroring a continued spike in NBA revenues. So it's sort of it's somewhat turning into like a bit of a wait out because the previous owner of the Timberwolves realized, okay, if I just hold out on this deal, then it would eventually be worth a little bit more, seeing as how the Timberwolves were, at least from the time of the decision being made, the Timberwolves were steadily making more and more money, seeing as they were in the playoffs, and being in the playoffs immediately means that you make and you generate a lot more attention coming in from the media, and that would mean you generate a lot more funds, and that's something that would help the organization going forward. So that's one of the things that's been going on previously, or over the basketball world, and it's been a little bit of a bit of a weird situation, but now since there were no games that were going on because we are currently waiting on the Boston Celtics to match up against the Dallas Mavericks, and this is going to be a very exciting matchup indeed. I cannot wait to see the Boston Celtics. They're most likely going to be healthy, and I have a feeling that the Celtics are going to end up winning in this series because of their stronger roster as well as their stronger they have stronger defense, and they have a lot better offense that could also I just feel like the team is a lot stronger than the Dallas Mavericks lineup. I mean, the Mavericks and the Celtics, they both have the offense, but the Celtics, they have a lot better defense at the 1 through 5 compared to the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, I think that, the all the defenders all the players that the Celtics have in their starting lineup, they're all rather, competent defenders, especially the 1 and the 2 with Derek White and Drew Holiday, and having Jaylen Brown as your third best defender, or Jason Tatum as your fourth best defender. It's really something that not many squads can say that they have. And again, having these defenders in the starting lineup just ultimately makes the team that much more difficult to beat in the postseason. And it's really it's going to put the pressure on Dallas immensely, because Dallas is expected to play really well offensively, but that's basically the only thing that they have going for them, because if they do not show up offensively, then there's no guarantee that they can show up defensively, because this Boston Celtics team, they are very, they're very expendable. Like, they have a very solid offense from the 1 through the 5. And, like, every single person, everyone can do something with the ball. And with that in mind, that, like, it makes everything a little bit more, well, I can't really say, it makes everything a little bit more difficult for the Dallas Mavericks, because they have to be busy guarding the 1 through the 5, where, the Celtics, they would only have to worry about guarding the 1 and the 2, because essentially, Kyrie and Luka, they're the only 2 players that are doing anything with the basketball, and as long as they can keep those 2 contained, they can keep the Dallas Mavericks contained, which is, it's a pretty good strategy. But the only real problem is that, keeping Kyrie Irving contained and keeping Luka Doncic contained, it's really difficult. Like, there's it's not easy. There's nothing easy about it, and there's no, like, you can't really get away with messing up when Luka Doncic is on offense and Kyrie is on offense, because it's like they most likely they will find a good shot and they will take whichever shot you give them, which is not something that is ideal for any kind of team, especially like if it's just them taking the shots. You want to force somebody else to take the shots if you are the Boston Celtics. Like, if you can force someone else to take the difficult shots, then you put yourself in a much better situation to win. And that's ultimately what you want, because like if you don't want to be playing catch up with the rest of the other players on the team, because if you're playing catch up, then you're never going to be able to make it out of a hole when you're playing catch up with Luka. Like, we saw the Timberwolves, they had to play catch up most of the time in Game 5, and that didn't work out for them whatsoever. So you definitely have to you got to be careful when you're going up against those two. So with that, we are out of time for this first segment. So now I will go ahead and go into the second segment, where I talk about the 2017 Warriors going up against, or what would happen if the 2017 Warriors went up against the 2004 Pistons. This was obviously a topic that began with Draymond Green. So I will be right back after this short break. Stay tuned.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown. Get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. Some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh,
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?